Hey Linewalkers, this is Jamie from I told you I was sick.com, and this is another video called Why Autistic People Do That. This is video number 15 in a series that I've been working on for several months. If this is the first time you're tuning in, be sure to check out the rest of my videos. I will link them in the description below so you can check them all out. You'll see this if you are on YouTube. I'll leave it in the description, and if you are on Facebook, I will also leave it in the description. I'm having lighting issues apparently. Here we go. Okay, so the reason this entire series started is because I had asked a question on a forum, specifically for autistic people, and I said, what is something that neurotypicals do, that neurotypicals do automatically that when you found out about it absolutely shocked you? And I got the most amazing responses. And I also added a lot of responses of my own because I could see what people were saying and certain things would click and make sense for me. So this one, video number 15, is called Indirectly Tell Me What You Need. So one thing that I've noticed, and other autistic people, at least on this forum, have noticed, is that directly stating your needs is rude, or it's considered rude by most neurotypical people. So let's say you're at someone's home and you won't take off your coat. I used to go through this all the time when I was a child. I never took off my coat. And people would say, invariably, take off your coat and stay a while. And I had no idea what that meant. I was like, well, I'm planning on staying. I can't go anywhere. I can't drive. My dad or my mom or whoever's my ride. So I didn't understand what they were saying, because neurotypical people tend to speak in what autistics see as code. And I would just keep my jacket on because I was cold. And then, eventually they asked me, why aren't you taking your jacket off? And I'd be like, well, I'm cold. And apparently saying that I'm cold was not horribly offensive, but it was inappropriate because I was saying that it was translated in their minds to be, I am not comfortable in your home. Your home is not a comfortable place to be in. Now, as a child, I didn't understand any of that. It was just, if I'm cold, I'm keeping my jacket on, and that's it. If I'm hungry, I'm eating. If I have to go to the bathroom, I'm going to the bathroom. So, also I found out, and I think I touched upon this in another video where I talk about normal bodily functions being misinterpreted and being seen as offensive. For example, yawning. And if I say that, I'm going to start yawning. Yawning, showing tiredness. You could be really fatigued, like genuinely fatigued. And if you yawn too much in someone's home where you're a guest or you're at a party, you're seen as telling the person, I'm bored with you, I'm bored with your conversation. So if you're stating your needs like, I'm tired, if you state it directly, I'm tired, I should go home. It's almost like a really weird minefield you have to navigate. Saying you're tired isn't necessarily automatically offensive, but if you go back to video number 14 where I talk about how you say something, and if you go back to one of my older videos about body functions being seen as rude, you sort of have to tie all that together and be able to state your needs in the right tone, in the right way, in the right order, with the right inflection, and then you might be able to state your needs without offending someone or appearing rude. Now, for a neurotypical person, this all comes naturally. Neurotypical people do not have to think about this. They do not have to put 4 or 5 things together and coordinate them perfectly before a sentence can come out of their face. They know automatically. And to me, this is magic. This is magic. So you all don't have any idea how lucky you are. You're so lucky. So these are all the things that we have to put together. Let's say you are at a party and you're having a really lousy time and you're really bored and you're like, I don't want to actually say I'm bored, because at least I know that that's probably not the best thing to say. But it's like, why aren't you socializing? Why aren't you going around talking to people? Why are you on your phone? And if you, God forbid, you were to say, tell them truth and say, I'm bored, the person wouldn't take it as I'm just not having, like, the person wouldn't take it as not having a good time. And this is all within myself. I'm talking about myself. I'm not having a good time. When you say I'm bored when you're at someone's house, again, it is what you're actually saying, or what a neurotypical person will hear you say, is that you are a boring person. Your house is boring. The people that you invited are boring. I don't like anything about you. So, because I think if a neurotypical person says that, they may literally mean I'm bored. I'm just not having a good time. Or they may be saying something without saying something because, again, to autistic people, neurotypical people talk in code. So, another thing that I've noticed, and excuse me a second, I gotta do something with my computer here so I can read what I wrote. So I don't like this food is another one. That saying that I do not like this food. Oh, that is probably one of the worst things that you can say. I don't care for this is more acceptable, but like let's say you're not eating a certain food that someone put on your plate. Again, an autistic person, I just don't like this. That's what I mean. This thing right here that I'm holding in my hand, I don't like it. But again, a neurotypical person will hear, I don't like your cooking. I don't like you. Because the house they're in, the entertainment they're providing, the food they're providing, everything is an extension of them. And that's how that's viewed. So if you say you don't like a particular food, even if the person didn't cook it, which is amazing to me, you can end up offending someone. Excuse me, I talk about my phlegm in video too. So on the flip side, and I don't have a lot of time left, I'm trying to keep these to 8 minutes. On the flip side, neurotypical people have a tendency to be indirect about how they're feeling. They may say, oh, it's a little warm in here. And what they're asking you is to turn down the heat because they're about to die of heat stroke and maybe pass out. But they're not going to say that directly because that comes across as rude and they know that. So, oh, I'm a little warm, or yeah, I haven't eaten anything since breakfast. That's an indication of hunger, so you should feed them. But they're never going to say, I'm hungry, do you have anything to eat? Unless they're really close friends, and then of course you're just going to go raid the person's refrigerator. Or this is a really kind of a funny story. I used to screw this one up a lot. People would be like, there's something on the floor. And I would be like, yes, there's something on the floor. It's so funny because my poor aunt one time, there was something on the floor, and she looked at it and she said, there's something on the floor. And I looked at it, I acknowledged that there was something on the floor, I walked away, I continued on with my day. What I didn't realize was that my aunt was asking me to pick up what was on the floor. So she didn't state her needs directly to me. She didn't say, Jamie, I need you to pick up what's on the floor because I'm afraid, someone's going to slip on it. Or maybe I don't remember what it was. I don't know if I had tracked something, somebody had tracked something in the house, if it was dog doo, or I don't know what it was, but it was like, there's something on the floor. It's too indirect. I mean, now I can translate it and be like, oh, I should probably pick that up. But that's a learned behavior for autistic people. It's not an automatic, oh, there's something on the floor, translates to, please pick up this thing on the floor. So eventually I learned that. But the whole point of this video is that it can be very, very frustrating because stating needs directly, which is something that an autistic person would automatically do based on their neurology, is considered rude. And on the flip side, when a neurotypical person states their needs indirectly, we autistics don't meet their needs because we don't even realize that you're asking for a need to be met. So that's the disconnect. This is probably one of my longest videos, but tell me what you think about it. Definitely want to hear from you, autistic, neurotypical, somewhere in between. I am really curious about how you're finding these videos and not how you're finding them, but how do you like them? And I've gotten some great feedback, so I'm really excited, and thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. I can't find the stop button. This is awkward.